Welcome to the first meditation from the course. This is from week 1, Chakra Wheels and the Resurrection of Osiris. So without much further ado, prepare yourself for meditation. Let's think about the chakras, because I know there's something you'd like to master. Yes, that's right. Sooner or later. Because it's why you're here. To be able to drift off into deep meditation and access the power of your unconscious mind to activate and balance your chakras. That's right. Relaxing, isn't it? You're in the right time and the right place, and you know there's nothing you need to do but breathe. Star magic will do the rest. Yes, that's right. And maybe you remember a time in the past, a very long time ago, when sleeping was such an easy thing to do. And maybe you remember a time in the past, a very long time ago, when sleeping was such a healing thing to do. And maybe you remember a time in the past, a very long time ago, when you'd enter the dream temples of ancient Egypt to empower and balance your chakra wheels and master your mind, body and soul with the gods. Isn't that so? It would be so easy to return there now. In fact, you wouldn't really need to think about how to get there at all. Because if you've ever really been there before, or perhaps even if you can imagine being there, in an ancient Egyptian dream temple, you'll just know how to access that memory as easily as gently closing your eyes, as easily as allowing your slow, gentle breath to relax your body. That's right, isn't it? And as you imagine yourself so deeply relaxed, and in your mind you can see your eyes closed and your eyelashes still upon your face, your gentle breath light and soft, like a whisper in the stillness of the dream temple. Because as you remember, as you drift back there, as you breathe gently in and out, in and out, in and out. That's right. You know how to get there easily, peacefully, purposefully, like your soul's on a mission for power and wholeness. Your breath is just gently rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling. And as you observe your breath just rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling, you find yourself just drifting back through time as your breath is rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling. You find yourself drifting further and further back in time, maybe thousands of years, maybe to a memory of a past life, or maybe you're accessing a memory of an ancestor. And as you breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. You realize it really doesn't matter. It's not important. You're just letting yourself go into the memory, into the experience, into the power of the ancient Egyptian dream temple. Because when you were a child and you closed your eyes, you could just journey wherever you liked. That's right. Isn't it so? Just by breathing in and out, in and out, in and out, and traveling through time on your breath in a moment. Yes, that's right. Isn't it so? Just by observing your breath rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling, like the wings of a sacred kestrel, with your human head, your bar in flight. And maybe you find you just know how to do this in a very instinctive way. You find your body changes itself into a large bird of prey, flying through the night skies of ancient Egypt. Yes, that's right. Feeling those great, powerful wings beating on your back as naturally and as easily as breathing in and out, in and out, in and out. And as your powerful wings beat with the rising and the falling, rising and falling, rising and falling, you look up and see the brightest star in the sky beaming down on you, as if the star Sirius is smiling at you, as if Isis, the great goddess of magic, is empowering you. Heka, 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 I call on the magic of Egypt. Heka, 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 I call on the medicine of Egypt. Heka, 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 I call on the magic of Egypt. Heka, 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 I call on the medicine of Egypt. Heka, 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 I call on the magic of Egypt. Heka, 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 I call on the medicine of Egypt. And as you look down from your graceful flight over your ancient home, you see the river Nile flooding its banks and irrigating the desert of Set. Feel the healing magic of the greenery balance and transform the barren, red, passionate magic of the desert as you prepare your mind for transmutation, the transmutation of storytelling and ancient Egyptian symbols as you breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. And as your breath is rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling like the giant bird with your human face, your character, your personality, that is you. Your bar sweeps down into the dream temple on the banks of the Nile. Oh, so long ago. Feeling those great powerful wings beating on your back as naturally and as easily as breathing in and out, in and out, in and out. You swoop down into the temple. You might remember that you left your body lying there, sleeping on a comfortable reed mat, your head relaxed on a comfortable, luscious pillow, your lungs breathing in and out, in and out, in and out. And maybe as you glance around the dream temple, you noticed your young car standing watching you and your sleeping physical body, for that's the way it should be, isn't it? And as your body's lungs are rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling, you notice a large piece of parchment on your chest, right across the 2 heart chakras, as if you feel inclined. You could choose to realize that there are words written on the parchment in your handwriting, scribed with a black and red ink made from water and ancient ground minerals. And yes, you could remember, if you so choose, that you set your intention to be the vessel for healing and resurrection for Osiris, the god who brought consciousness into humankind right across Egypt. And maybe as you watch your body's breathing rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling, you feel a pride about the deep transformational work of healing you're doing for yourself and all of the world. And maybe as you feel this pride, you feel inclined to look around this beautiful limestone dream temple, decorated with maps of different star constellations. And as your eyes fall on the image of Canis Major, with its blue and whitish major star Sirius, perhaps you begin to feel entranced, enchanted by its power. That's right, isn't it? You may remember feeling this energy and power from a time before, or perhaps you don't. It's not important, because what's important is that there's a part of you that knows that the key to your soul's evolution lies within the star magic of Canis Major and its brightest star Sirius, the act of the goddess Isis, sister and wife to Osiris. And possibly you feel the urge to fulfill your destiny as you open your own heart chakra wheels and call out in the magic of command, I call to you, great star power of Canis Major, Isis, Hathor, and Anubis. And as you're invoking, you may just notice that you're visualizing the constellation of Canis Major, its star configuration, which reminds you of a dog who follows the constellation of Orion across the night skies, so you continue perhaps with your evocation. I call to you, great power of loyalty and the sorcery of and initiation of soul healing. And perhaps as you're evoking, you begin to feel this great desire to rise to the constellation of Canis Major, stimulate its power and healing to descend within you into this dreaming temple. Whether you're feeling that or not is not always important, because you know that as the bar, you're about to rise to the heavens and invoke the star magic of Isis. That's right, isn't it? And as your body's breathing is rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling, and your great wings begin to beat in harmony with your body's natural rhythms, a great seed mantra sound rises from within the center of yourself as bar ringing out the magic of your sorceress self, Ah. And maybe as your wings are beating and you're rising up through the skies, you find yourself visualizing or imagining the constellation of Canis Major, and you find yourself at the very heart of the great constellation of Isis. And as you feel the influence of your body down below in the dream temple, breathing in and out, in and out, in and out, you can imagine the rush of star magic and divine energy flooding your senses and cascading downwards to the dream temple to reunite you with your Ka and sleeping body, whose breathing is rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling, as is necessary and proper for your spiritual and magical growth. That's right. You know, as a Ba, the mobile part of your soul, you have the most profound memories of your lives with Isis and Osiris, and it could be that you're starting to remember who you are as you perch beside your body and Ka, as Isis manifests in her pure power before you, distressed yet powerfully composed, waiting to bring her husband brother back to life and cause the evolution of the human race to be accelerated. And maybe you'll remember just how central your spiritual and magical work is as you watch Isis place her right hand over the 2 heart chakra wheels of your body and her left hand on its solar plexus, as she pours light and star magic and the vibrating sound of sorcery of her incantations. Heka, 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 I call on the magic of Egypt. Heka, 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 I call on the medicine of Egypt. Heka, 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 I call on the magic of Egypt. Heka, 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 I call on the medicine of Egypt. Heka, 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 I call on the magic of Egypt. Heka, 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 I call on the medicine of Egypt. Have you ever thought that it is because, as a Ba, you're so old and you've existed from the beginning of time, that as the heart chakra wheel of Isis opens in a swirl that changes color and stimulates the high heart chakra in your body, it's the reason you know exactly what to do as the bar of Isis emerges and you fly with her through your high heart chakra wheel and out into the astral plane to find the disseminated parts of Osiris for healing and resurrection. That's right. It's probably true, isn't it? It's even possible that as you search the land of Egypt for the body parts of Osiris, that you could have a realization, even a gnosis, of just how important this event is for the self-realization of your spiritual and magical journey, as the initiatory process will catapult your growth and power. It's just possible that you already know this. And maybe as you're doing your sacred work on the astral planes of ancient Egypt, assisting the great Ba, the kestrel with the face of the ancient goddess, that you can sense the seed mantra, magical sound, the light and star magic preparing your dreaming body for an initiation and reawakening so powerful that it can heal the greatest and oldest of souls as he realizes the next stages of his mastery of the spirit worlds. And as you help the bar of Isis fly back through astral worlds with ever part Bar 1 of the body of Isis, back through the high heart chakra of your body and back into the dream temple, maybe you become aware of just how important important it is that your young car observes everything in silence, stimulating the growth of the less developed parts of your spirit. And as you watch the goddess Isis integrate the parts of the dead Osiris into your energy bodies, it may be that you become aware of quite how skilled her star magic and healing techniques are, as light and fire, sacred sound, and divine creativity reshape your body into magnificence, as the tomb from which the great god rises again vibrates and rocks the dreaming temple, stimulating every chakra wheel from the soul star to the feet and below into the grounding chakra. It could be because you became aware of never having experienced such powerful magic before, or it could be that your whole being is vibrating with accelerated spiritual and magical genius, that you find yourself understanding your vast spiritual destiny. The truth is, I don't know which one it is. Maybe it's only for you to know. Do you know? It's important. It doesn't matter. You can know it all later. In the meantime, you could observe with excitement and trepidation the resurrection of Osiris rising out of your body as a bar. As you notice, the back of your body, from shoulders to tailbone, is arched with the energetic enormity of its duty. As you prepare to leave the dream temple with the bar of Osiris and the journey to the duat for initiation, you may feel the deepest sense of power and sorcery throughout your being. Your bar, car, and body breathing in and out, in and out, in and out, watching Osiris, watching Isis pour star magic, incantation, healing, light and fire through all 13 of your chakra wheels, bringing your body back into total sorceress alignment and joy. Heka, Heka, Heka. I call on the magic of Egypt. Heka, Heka, Heka. I call on the medicine of Egypt. Heka, Heka, Heka. I call on the magic of Egypt. Heka, Heka, Heka. I call on the medicine of Egypt. Knowing that Isis is empowering your body and your car with her star healing magic, stimulating every cell, hormone, and DNA structure to its highest of potentials as your bar fly with the bar of Osiris down through the grounding chakra of your body and out into the underworlds as you sense your body breathing, rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling to the rhythm of your powerful wings beating the air of the underworld skies. And maybe, just maybe in this moment you realize that Isis has become pregnant with Horus, the son of Osiris, and you can conceive that the great plan is fulfilled. The blood of Isis and Osiris will ascend to become lord of the Ennead and earth. Horus, the sun god, the rebirth of Osiris himself, while the bar of Osiris descends to become the lord of the duat, the underworld, the unconscious mind. You've witnessed a whole map to your own godhood in your dreaming mind as your body breathes in and out, in and out, in and out, as your great wings beat the air of the underworld on your journey to the duat. Do you see Anubis, the jackal-headed god on the borders of the duat? Feel yourself descend with the bar of Osiris down to the land as Osiris and Anubis embrace. With your intention, you transmute your soul body into a jackal with a human head, and run through the fields with Anubis and Osiris, and into the halls of the Duat, and for a moment you sense your body in the dreaming temple. Magic, light, fire, healing and energy pouring through all the 13 chakras, transmuting, empowering and healing everything, while your car faithfully observes the miracle. As your body breathes in and out, in and out, in and out, you watch as Osiris stands before the great scales of the Duat. Ma'at, the daughter of the sun god Ra, is present, standing on the other side of the scales next to Anubis, and the god of wisdom and magic, science and mathematics, Thoth, with the head of an ibis. Ma'at pulls a giant ostrich feather from her crown and places it on the side of the scales, and Anubis reaches inside of the chest of the bar of Osiris and wrenches his heart from his body, placing it on the other side of the scales, as Thoth is busily recording the measurements on a scroll. All the gods, monsters and demons in this place fall silent with anticipation, and in the silence you can sense the rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling of your body's breath. You watch as the scales begin to tip. The side of the feather is heavier. Osiris is fit to become lord of the underworld, and all present kneel before him, save Ma'at alone, who lifts the crown from her head and places it on the head of Osiris, lord of the Duat. Maybe you realize the transformation is complete, and maybe you don't. It doesn't matter, for your bar knows the truth. The soul of Osiris in all of its forms is master of all the Ennead, the earth, and the Duat. Osiris is the Ak, the god of his reality, the master of magic, and the map of your ascension into your godhood is etched into every part of your being. Yet there's something more for you to do. As you rise in flight, transformed as a great bird again, whose wings beat powerfully to the rhythm of your body's breathing, the rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling of your breath propels your flight back through the underworld. Your body begins to sense the end of the initiatory healing as your consciousness begins to stir. 10, 9, 8. Your car re-enters your body's energy fields, changed and empowered forever. 7, 6, 5. Isis balances all of your 13 chakras with her star magic light sound. Healing and sorcery. 4, 3, 2. You fly up through your foot chakra, root, sacral, solar plexus, and into your first heart chakra wheel, where you reside, reuniting your body in a new initiated whole. 1. Isis vanishes, ascending back to herself as Sirius, deep inside the constellation of Canis Major. As you open your eyes and find yourself back in normal reality, all is well, but changed forever. You've evolved and deepened your spiritual knowledge and power. Open your eyes now. Come back. Return. Heka, Heka, Heka. I call on the magic of Egypt. Heka, Heka, Heka. I call on the medicine of Egypt. Welcome back. Come back now. Return.